Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass, and today we're going to be taking a look at Afterpulse, and this is going to be the first game in a long-running series that I'm going to start here on Copper vs Glass of Let's Play. Now what this is going to be is me just playing the games and giving my overall thoughts and opinions on the game, and just giving you guys a bit of insight into the actual gameplay itself. So let's get started. Now obviously this is a brand new kind of video that I'm going to be doing here on Copper vs Glass. It's not really edited all that much, and there's not really any cuts. It's just going to be me playing the game and showing you exactly how the game actually plays. So as you can see here, once you actually start up the game itself, you're going to be granted with a standard title screen. Up at the top left hand corner you can see my biggest bugbear of the actual game itself, and that is that you have energy to actually play the game itself. Now obviously you can pay to get this replenished by using actual real world money, however that's not necessarily the best thing. The wait times aren't exactly very long, but it'd be great for a game like this not to have energy whatsoever and just to let us play the game. Now keep in mind guys, this game is completely free from the App Store, so that is definitely something to keep in mind. So there is going to be maybe a couple of things that you are going to have to deal with in terms of the actual gameplay, but overall it's not really the worst thing in the world. Now down the left hand side you can see here that you've got events, shop, and also the inventory. Now in terms of the inventory itself, it's pretty self-explanatory. This is where you can customize your character and also your weapons loadout, and it's also where you can see the fusion just there, which is basically how you create new weapons by fusing guns together. Now it does sound a bit strange in concept, it does work quite well, however I haven't actually collected that many guns just yet, so I'm going to have to wait and see how that pans out. Now in terms of customizing the character, it is very simple. You've got different faces that you can choose, different outfits, and also different headgear as well. In terms of weapons, you can see here these are the guns that I've currently actually unlocked, and again you can see that you do have some that are replicas, and that's basically a way to then fuse the guns with other guns. So as you can see here, I've just equipped the AC-30, which is actually my favourite gun in the game so far, although I haven't actually got that many as of yet. Now as you can see on the right hand side, you've got multiplayer battle, which I haven't yet unlocked, and then you've got training. Now training you have to play through to get to level 7 to then get the multiplayer battle unlocked, and that will allow you then to play against other players from around the world. Training has a fixed number of players. I think there's 5 different characters that are your enemy basically that you're fighting against, so let's just actually take a look at the gameplay itself. Now in terms of levels, as you can see here, there's not a ton of levels. You've got a close quarters camp, train yard, terminal station, aircraft, and warehouse, and that's pretty much it. As you can see, you actually need to unlock them at certain levels throughout the actual game itself, so again I need to reach level 15 to get the last level. So what I'm going to be doing is playing on Train Yard, which is probably my favourite level so far. As I mentioned, I do only have 2 so far, but the one thing that I didn't like about the first one, it was dark, there was rain and things, so Train Yard to me is a very nice game to play. Now do keep in mind guys that the graphics on this game are extremely cool. Now what I mean by that is they are pretty much AAA quality, and as you can see when I actually start the game itself, it's got very good frame rates, and just in general the gameplay looks awesome, and as you can see just looking around and things, it's got a really nice kind of effect, and just in general the gameplay itself is also very simple. Now when I say simple, I don't mean that in necessarily a bad way, but one thing that I would say is unlike most other games of this sort of genre, it actually auto-targets for you. Now again, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. You do still need to get the aim as close as you can, but once you've pretty much got it spot on, it's then going to auto-target for you, and you don't really need to worry about it all that much from that point onwards. So as you can see, you've got a bunch of different characters that are currently running around at the moment, and again, it's down to me to get the highest score possible to kill as many people and not die that many times, and then obviously you can see here that you respawn once you have been killed. Now the gameplay at this level is actually quite easy to do, because again it's training and I'm not playing against real AI companions at this moment in time, so again that is definitely something to keep in mind. So don't kind of think that while you're playing this bit you're just kind of going through like Rambo and you're going to beat everybody and be the best player there is, because these are AI companions, and again there's not actually any brain behind it, if you see what I mean. You're not actually playing against real life people. Now as you can see the gameplay, again you do need to reload your weapon each time you actually run out of a magazine, and again that's just done by tapping in the top right hand corner. But overall the gameplay itself is very nice, it's very smooth, and again there's no frame rates whatsoever. Now I'm playing this on an iPhone 6, not the iPhone 6 Plus or the 6S or anything, and again it uses Metal, which is Apple's brand new way for games to look awesome, and again it does just that. The gameplay looks awesome, the graphics are cool, and it's got some really nice effects of dynamic range, particle effects and things like that. I haven't yet unlocked anything like grenades or rocket launchers, which you can do later on in the game. As it stands now, I've just got standard machine guns and things, which again isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it can get quite repetitive over time. And as you can see, the matches themselves don't actually last that long either. So we've got around 30 seconds left on this match. So what I'm going to do is just try my best to actually beat them. I'm only 50 points in front at the moment, so I do need to kind of up my game slightly as much as I can right now to hopefully get the win. And then obviously you're going to get them more points and things. And then obviously what you're going to then be able to do is basically unlock more levels, more guns, and that's basically how the progression works. Now there are in-app purchases with this game, so again, if you do want to get some of this stuff early, or just in general not actually want to kind of struggle with playing through the game, then again you don't need to. You can pay, you can get access to things early, and I wouldn't necessarily say that's the best way to play this game, as it's not necessarily that hard. So as you can see here, I got 13 kills and only died 4 times. And then you're granted with the screen of where you can actually level up. So as you can see here, I'm now level 5, and again I've got some energy refill there as well. You can see that the energy has actually increased now as well from 14 to 16. So as you actually play through the game itself, you are going to be able to get more energy, which will allow you to play longer. However, during the start of the game, it may be that you have to wait every now and then. Also with the game, you do actually unlock crates which have brand new weapons in them each time. So again, you can see here that when the crate opens, you're going to be granted with a new weapon. Now you can just use this weapon on its own, or as I mentioned, you can fuse it with another gun. Now unfortunately at this moment in time, I don't actually have enough weapons to fuse a weapon. However, I'm still in the training side of things. So again, it's saying here, finally, I can now evolve my weapons, which is something new. So let's just take a look at this. Again, it's in the fusion screen, and again you can click on the middle button here to evolve. Now it says tap here to select the weapon you want to evolve. So again, I'm just going to select that. Okay, it's just asking me to select this one. So again, we're still kind of in tutorial mode at the moment. The result of an evolution will always be the same weapon 1 star higher. So again, you can touch the screen to continue. Again, you need to add another weapon. And then again, you can just add another weapon just here, and then click on evolve. To be honest guys, the fusion side of things and evolving weapons is slightly confusing in my opinion. So that's definitely something to keep in mind, because it's not the easiest thing to get to grips with. And as you can see now, once I go into the inventory, I've still got the weapon that I was using previously, but I've now got a brand new gun underneath it, which is now the one that I'm going to be using, because that's now what I've equipped for myself. So what I'm going to do to end this video is just have a quick look at the level that I said I wasn't necessarily a fan of, but again, it's just really to show off the graphics in the game, as that's pretty much the highlight of this game. In my opinion, this is more of a tech demo than a long-term game that I'm going to be playing all the time. But if you want to show off to your friends the best and the latest graphics on the iPhone, this is definitely the way to go. As you can see, the light particles and everything look awesome, and the character animation is quite good. Now obviously sometimes it does look slightly jagged when you're obviously moving around and things. You can see that sometimes it does look a little bit unnatural, but just in general the gameplay is solid, and it's something that maybe will pick up in the future. And I think they need to add maybe a single player campaign, or just in general maybe just make sure it's not always online, because at this moment in time I'm doing training, so I don't see why it needs to be online. I can understand if I was playing multiplayer the reason for it being online. However, as it stands now, I'm not actually playing with anyone online, but yet it still requires an internet connection. That's one of my biggest bugbears at the moment with mobile gaming, is a lot of games that even if they're not online require an internet connection so that they can give you some in-app purchases so that you can buy stuff. I'm not necessarily a fan of that, but hey, if you guys want to play this game, I'll put a link in the description down below so you guys can download it for yourself. Now, so this is just a trial run of this sort of video. If you guys enjoyed this more unedited kind of raw video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up down below. If you guys have got any games that you want me to have a look at, be sure to leave them in the comments section down below. The next game I will be doing, however, will be the new Need for Speed No Limits, which is an awesome game and I can't wait to show you. I'm Michael from Copper vs Glass. This is a quick look at the game Afterpulse, and I will catch you guys in the next video.